It's gonna be fun. Is this bitch working? Yeah, she is. Okay, good.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Let me just take a bite out of this Big Mac. Well, no, not a Big Mac. A quarter pounder with cheese. Anybody out there who knows me knows I don't eat McDonald's very often. I get to be a fatty today because I got drunk last night.
Hedonism engenders hedonism.
Hell yeah. As long as it doesn't become a habit, I'm pretty cool with it. I'm not gonna feel guilty about this shit.
Especially, like, who can tell me that, like, exercise and vegetables are gonna make them feel better after a fucking night of drinking? Hell no. What makes you feel better is a greasy something and an horchata.
Oh. If McDonald's sold horchata, I would go there, like, maybe once a week.
Just for the drink.
Yeah. The chicken nuggets are the shit, though. I've had those before, too. Oh my god, this is so good. I feel like I'm sinning. And it feels so good. So New York, goddamn. No. I do have big plans that involve me getting out of this city. There's nothing wrong with El Paso, I think. It's just, I would much rather retire here than live here at this age. It's great for old people. That's how I could put it. Like a less savage Florida.
Much less savage.
I mean, I don't hear very often in the news here like El Paso man wrestles alligator and then marries it or some shit. Like, here's mostly like
El Paso man gets drunk and has a fight in a Whataburger with another teacher.
Yeah. That's more of El Paso thing, yeah. Chola fights, that's always a thing too.
People cheating.
Oh
Oh, God.
yeah. There's a lot of cheaters here.
That's because everybody thinks they need to, like, stay with somebody forever.
That's what I really think is the problem. I was talking to, who was I talking to the other day? I think one of my friends at work. I was just contemplating this whole thing about why people cheat or why sometimes relationships don't work. I'm just like, well, I think, like you said, I think that if you think from the get-go that it's supposed to be like a forever thing, that's kind of a problem. That's already a problem, because this is one of the things that I'm really glad that Buddhism taught me, that the impermanence of things. Like, nothing, absolutely nothing's going to last forever. That includes relationships, your life, all that shit. And granted, like, a lifelong relationship works for some people, but, like, I really think that's a minority. Because,
Well, because people evolve and change.
That's true.
And there's no way that you're going to evolve and change with one person your whole life.
And in the same direction. That's why whenever I see, like, older couples, like, sometimes you see them at restaurants or whatever, and you can tell they've been together forever. Because it's the usual, like, the cliche, like, the nagging lady and just, like, the beaten down husband just taking it all and just like, dude, get out.
Or the opposite. It's the really fucking, like, angry, stern husband and the beaten shell of a woman.
And I'm just
What can happen at any age?
True. And that's, like, when I see that, it's like, just get out. Like, don't do that anymore. There are other people out there. Hell, you don't necessarily have to be with someone. I think this is something a lot of us are learning through this quarantine thing. And something that I've been familiar with, like, for years and years. It's okay to be by yourself once in a while. Like deal with those thoughts the healthy way. You know?
It's also, like, something that I think people get conditioned to just with, like, the media and stuff, like, finding the love of your life is so important, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I mean, It can totally be important if you want to give it that much weight.
Mm.
But, like, man, there is some incredible love and joy happening, and it's all you. It's all inside of you. You don't need anybody else.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice to, like, share the trip with someone else, but, like, you have to be, I guess you could say, egotistical, too. Like, you gotta take care of you. You gotta teach yourself stuff. You gotta grow as a person. And, sometimes, like, it sounds really messed up that I say this, but sometimes it's best to do it alone because there's not gonna be anybody, like, weighing you down or slowing you down. Because sometimes relationships do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some great couples know how to pick each other up and, like, raise themselves, and some really, really don't. So, I'm kind of taking this whole time to teach myself a lot of things that are going to help me in the future, because, like, I have, like, a big plan in the next coming, like, 5 years that I really want it to happen. And, being single is going to be one of the things that I'm going to have to keep necessary for that to happen. I can't just get up and shack up again and throw it all to hell because I really want to get out of this city.
Same. Oh my gosh. The other thing is that, like, some journeys, you have to go alone. There are some things that you can't fix while somebody else is there.
Mm-hmm.
Either because they keep you from doing the work out of you being lazy, out of them enabling, or out of you using them and their presence as like an excuse to not change that about you.
True. No. I'm done. I'm just gonna be a dog, fuck it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, casual sex without any sort of, like, relationship commitment whatsoever.
True. Agreed.
Or any dating commitment. The only thing that is the problem is when you don't let those intentions be known to other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it really comes down to being honest from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because and I've been, I think, on both on both ends of this one, where I start a relationship with, like, the most honest, biggest honesty you can. It's like, this is me, this is what I want, and others when I was much younger, where I just wanted to just, like, get laid and say, like, the shit that she wanted to hear, and it worked, and then obviously problems ensued because, you know, I wasn't honest.
Yeah.
So it's a lesson learned. I don't want to do that shit again ever. But if you go in there with honesty, most people respond to it positively. They're like, you know what, you're being honest right now. You just want to fuck? Sure. Fucking do it. And most of the time it's going to be no, obviously. Because most people, like you say, want to have, like super emotional connection with that. Which there's nothing wrong with it. But
I don't think most people do. I think that part of it is that people are conditioned and, like, are told, like, well, monogamy is the way to go, and, like, you know, if you're whored like a dog if you don't. And here's this very, like, one strict limiting principle on how you should live your romantic life. But I think as long as you are clear about your intentions and expectations, like, people are usually more than accommodating for those things, just because they already know what they can expect.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a bigger sense of security when you meet somebody like that. Because, like, you know what? I'm not going to have to, like, double guess what the person is thinking. It's like, you know what the fuck you're there for. Mm-hmm. So that's always a good thing. You know, because, like, I'm glad I'm in this position in my life now where I can say I've lived a little bit as far as relationship-wise. So I can definitely be honest about what I want and that kind of shit.
Yeah, not feel obligated to fulfill some sort of fantasy.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that really that's why, unfortunately, so many marriages or, like, relationships go through cheating. I think that's really what it is.
Because people aren't communicating their needs honestly?
Mm-hmm. This is so pimp, by the way. I see you have, what is that? You have the ranch and then the what?
And the
Buffalo?
buffalo sauce, yeah.
God damn. That is the pimpest thing I've seen at a McDonald's. Let me try. Thank you.
It's fucking good. Make sure
So you dip it in both?
Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
Both flavors together.
Mmm. Fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's chicken nuggets. I haven't tasted one in years.
Don't look up how they make them.
No?
It's
Tell
not
me
a good
there's
look.
like hooves and chicken beaks in there.
Oh yeah, they just grind the little baby chicken alive.
God damn. It's fucking rough. Oh my god, this Fanta tastes so good. No
Yeah,
problem.
soda's dangerous. It's liquid canning.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely only good to have like twice a month.
I look forward to having the shits in a couple hours. No, but the big, like, how can I put it? The plan, as it stands right now, for me getting out of the city, because I still got like four and some odd years left in the contract, which is not really too much, and it gives me enough time to save up because I want to go back to Japan. Probably gonna get my foot through the door as an English teacher, which I think is something I enjoy. Go teach over there and then find somehow like another job over there in which I can just stay there permanently. 'Cause that's where the fuck I want to move.
Have you thought about like the Peace Corps?
The Peace Corps.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about it. I don't know if I want to do it though. I mean, what does it entail? It's a charity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go around helping people, obviously.
No, a lot of the time it's teaching English in third world countries.
And Japan is not a third world country.
Well, I mean, technically, the definition, like first world country was U.S. and then second world country was Russia, and then everything else is a third world country, which is stupid. But that was like during the. Yeah, you'll definitely have to look up the history thing. But I'm just like, was it the fucking arms race, Iron Curtain?
I can imagine myself going into that office and be like, "Hey, I want to go to Japan." Just like, "Sir, we're a charity, not a travel agency. You're going to Senegal. Good luck."
Right.
Oh no.
Have you seen Last King of Scotland? Don't do that. Oh man, that movie's hilarious.
It's like, let me give you a picture. You ever seen Tears of the Sun? Yes. That's where you're going, buddy. I'm like, ah! Just throw him in a fucking plane. Feel so guilty after eating this shit.
Oh, dude, trust me.
I'm not perfect.
I am not feeling good about this, but I was hungry as shit.
Curse you, McDonald's, and your delicious, salty, sweet stuffs. Part of me wants to like, order some more Fanta. I don't normally drink sodas. This is the first one I've had all month. God damn. Some people can live without that shit. And it's almost unbelievable to me.
Why?
I don't know, like, it's just, I can't do sweets for that long, and it's kind of good because, like, my family has a history with diabetes, so, like, I'm really looking out. So, like, when I see people going to Walmart and just buying, like, a big old package of Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, I'm just like, dude, just don't do that. Like, you're hurting yourself, sir. Like, that's why I'm not saying I don't have any bad eating habits, but like this, like McDonald's,
Yeah,
this
so
is like once in a month thing,
yeah,
kind of thing.
Like even at most at that, you know.
And I'm kind of gotten used to like cooking at home a lot, which is a good thing. Like I usually do things like chicken. I do myself some steaks, some white rice, all that good shit. Like I try to recreate some of the dishes I tried in Japan too.
Ooh.
I'm just like, I'm having a blast with it, and I know I'm eating well. And I always, every time I eat, I'm drinking just water. That's it. Maybe a tea. If it's a steak, I'm definitely having some Cabernet. That's my shit.
Hell yeah. As one should.
Oh yeah.
Do not have a nice cut of meat and then, like, cheapen it by drinking. Like, if you don't have, like, a nice wine or, like, a whiskey or tequila or something, just drink water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, like, as long as the water's not bad in the place where you're at, like, drink water at every restaurant. Never drink calories. If you're trying to lose weight, never fucking drink calories.
That's what I keep telling people. Like, it's something that one of my trainers in Juarez told me years and years ago. His name's Carlos also, and he had just finished talking to. Oh, thank you. Talking to this lady, who was there. Thank you. So generous. Anybody listening out there, come visit Andrea at her place. She's always giving you food.
I do love to feed people.
She had just finished talking to this lady. It was January, so you got all those people going there with their New Year's resolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was asking, well, how do I lose the weight all around here? She was touching her belly, right?
Yeah.
And the trainer kept telling her, listen, like, it's about if your goal is to lose weight, exercise helps, but it all starts with what you put in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like, if you're drinking sodas, stop drinking sodas. If you like to drink alcohol, eliminate beer, or drink a low carb beer, like, I don't know, Michelob. Tastes like piss anyway, but
all beer tastes like piss. We're not shitting on specifically Michelob. We're just saying beer is ass. If you're drinking beer, drink something else.
Drink something else. Try something else. Get some whiskey or something.
Yeah. Or like rum, vodka, tequila, sake, cachaça. There's a lot of cool things you can drink.
We're alcoholics.
I'm a bartender.
Oh yeah, I forgot I used to work at a bar too.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Grey Dog. But and he kept telling her, it's like, it's not like, if your goal is to lose weight, you're kind of in the wrong place. Like, if you're here, you're growing or tightening muscle. That's what you do at the gym. Unless you go on the treadmill, then you're getting cardio, right?
Yeah, but why pay for a membership? Go run outside.
Yeah. And it really stuck to me because it's absolutely right. Like, if I want to stay trim, I gotta watch out what the fuck I eat, not so much how much I lift. Because I got buddies that definitely can lift a lot of weight at the gym. They're fucking strong, but they're never gonna lose that belly fat because, like, they eat like crap.
Yep.
They eat like crap. Drink sodas, eating all them burgers. He says as he casually finishes a quarter pounder with cheese.
And fries.
And fries. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just good to have once in a while. But yeah, for the most part, your diet should be like fruits and vegetables, lean protein. And then sources of grain should be...
It's a big one, grain.
Yeah, definitely reduced to as little as you can handle. But for the most part, like, don't eat bread, man. Go for rice.
Yeah, bread is a big one.
It's delicious.
No, it's
so delicious. But if your goal is to lose weight, don't eat bread.
I think the biggest and best change I've made as far as bread is concerned, getting whole wheat bread. Whole wheat changed my life. Not only that, I mean, yeah, you pay like a couple cents more, but like it tastes better, has better consistency, and it doesn't stick to the roof of your mouth when you're eating a sandwich. And that's the big one for me. Like, the first time I tried whole wheat, I'm like, holy shit, I don't have to like freaking stick my tongue to the top of the roof of my mouth trying to like
unstick it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucking gross. The other thing that's really helpful about whole wheat things is that because there's more, like, I think it's like insoluble fiber. We'll definitely have to like fact check this later and then re-record. But I think it's because there's more insoluble fiber that it stays in your body for longer.
You get more energy, right?
Well, yeah. And then it takes your body longer to process it so that it's like a steady stream of energy for a longer period of time. So you're going to be fuller longer, which is also why they recommend to drink full-fat milk. Whole milk!
I love that shit.
Full-fat milk over reduced fat or fat-free milk, which is like disgusting. That's a travesty.
Tastes like water.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So that you're like fuller longer.
Uh-huh.
Like, never feel bad about... This is why, like, the French and the Europeans and all of that are so trim. My stepdad's German. We're all pretty trim in my house. But it's just because we, like, eat fruits and vegetables and, like, everything is home-cooked. Which is really nice. I'm like that way, too, now. Which is pretty cool, but on occasion it is nice to go out for pizza. Or the devil itself, McDonald's.
McDonald's. Mickey You know, it's funny how... the Japanese say McDonald's. It always throws me for a trip. So like the first time I ever went to McDonald's in Japan, I asked a friend, it's like, hey, you want to get some McDonald's? He's like, he kind of like stops and he says, Makadonarudo? I'm like, oh, okay, you have to say that again. I'm like, Makadonarudo. I was like, oh, that's how you say McDonald's. It's like, yes, that's how we say it here. I'm like, ah, shit, that's so fucking hilarious. So like every time I say it, I'm like, hey, you want to get some Makadonarudo? It's like, very funny, asshole. Stop making fun of my accent. No, but
That's so cute.
It's
though.
it's a big change. Like, and it's so much easier, I think, if you're living either by yourself or with someone who definitely follows your same diet.
Yeah.
Because like I remember having a roommate who would definitely buy like the good shit. And by the good shit, I mean like the tasty shit, like stuff you throw in a microwave oven.
That's not tasty.
I know, I love that shit.
Oh,
I know.
no.
I'm all about that sodium. I love the sodium.
Oh no, I cannot.
Oh man.
I've been raised through a long. It does never feels necessarily strict because my mom would still buy a bag of chips occasionally, or like my mom loves to bake, so we'll bake. I have cookies in the fridge right now. They're
shit.
Like the cookie dough, but I do what my mom does, which is psychotic, and cuts half the uses only half the amount of sugar that's listed in the recipe. And it's not really like a whole weight loss thing or whatever. It just tastes disgusting because like you don't want to eat something and then you're like crunching down on like sugar crystals. Like that's nasty as fuck. You don't want that. Yeah. So like it's really easy to eat healthy because it's better for you. It actually makes your palate a lot more sensitive as well because then you can taste different things in the food instead of just fat and sugar.
Yeah. No, everything here is loaded with all that good shit. That's why it's an addictive substance, really. Like once you get used to it, you want more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's why it makes sense with like when I was in college, some of my friends were foreign exchange students, and they would taste our food and be like, "Holy shit! Like this is so loaded with sugar or sodium or whatever."
Yeah, but it was just extra stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes they would look at the portion sizes. They'd be like I could eat twice with this right now. It's like you're eating twice as much as what I usually eat. And I get it. Like even in some countries, like for example, when you go to Hong Kong and you go to McDonald's, like the burgers are smaller. The fries servings are also smaller, which is a good thing. Like after I finished eating my meal, I was okay. Like I didn't feel hungrier just because the meal was smaller. I didn't feel the need to order twice as much as I usually do. But here, like coming back from Japan and coming here and seeing the big portion sizes, like I would feel just fucking bloated after every meal.
I mean, damn, I feel pretty bloated right now. And it's just because it's so much. And then it's all in one sitting. Another thing that if you want to lose weight, don't eat gargantuan meals. Because then you're like going to force your body to retain the fat and like try to burn that slowly and store it so that you can, use and burn it later. It's a lot better to eat multiple small meals or quote-unquote snacks a day. Fruit is awesome. My mom used to tell us just go eat a fruit. Like that doesn't count as calories. Right before dinner or something, we'd be like, Mom, I'm hungry. And she'd be like,
grab some fruit.
Yeah, eat some fruit, man. Like it's all good. It's mostly water anyways and fiber, which is good for like literally all of your body.
For
especially
pooping.
Your colon. Yes.
You gotta have a healthy poop.
Healthy regulation. Actually, though, because your gut has the second largest concentration of like nerves, and it's connected to your neurons. Of like neurons and stuff. Which is why, like, your gut health influences actually, like, your mental health.
No way.
Yeah. So what you eat really can make you really unhappy or really, like,
Super happy. Holy shit.
Yeah. Always take care of your stomach. Eat well because food is medicine. Or that's what, my stepdad has taught us. And so it's always just like, oh, well, I feel like I'm about to get sick. Better drink some orange juice, eat some fucking, like, way more fruit than usual. And then you'll feel way better and you don't need to go buy, like, prescribed meds or some shit.
That's my usual instinct too. If I feel like a flu coming, freaking just like eat a bunch of oranges, lime juice, shit like that. Just like citrus, just bring them in. Speaking of getting sick, like this COVID, holy shit, it's really upended a lot of people's lives. Like we were just talking about how it took a shit on your plans too. Like a lot of people, like I have a lot of friends who are were going to travel. And they're like, I was going to go to New York. I'm like, nah, that's not going to happen. Like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to go to New York this summer and go get some work done with some really cool people that I met earlier in January. And then I had a friend that was like, oh yeah, let's go to Ibiza. And, like, we can stop by in Greece for a little bit. And I was like, shit, if we're going to Europe, like, I'm glad that I didn't text my... stepdad's mom and tell her like, hey, like, let me go visit you in Munich, Barbara, because I'm pretty sure she'd be too excited. And then now that it's just like not an option anymore.
Ain't nobody traveling.
No.
And like, I know the amount of people that are gonna die from this is gonna grow steadily. I have this, and I think it's gonna happen. It's kind of like this fear that people are gonna grow too desperate and just start not giving a fuck. Like, they're gonna join all these people who are out there protesting, like...
Oh, no.
Open the country.
No, because the people that are protesting... So, here's the thing. The people that are protesting outside saying, like, I need a haircut and I want to golf and we want to go back to work. No, they don't want to go back to work. Because those aren't the... Like, let's be real. Those people are not the ones that are working. Those people are the ones that can't force their employees to be the ones on the front line going to work.
Ah...
Like, I don't know, like, if you'd noticed, but none of those people are black or brown, any sort of color.
I've only seen white people do.
And a lot of them look like the Karens and Jasons that you, like, service industry people, put up a fucking like for that. Yeah. Like, every time that you've seen a Karen or a Jason at work during a shift, like, at least 3.
And
they're the worst people.
I want to speak to your manager.
Right, I am the manager.
It's like, I am the manager, bitch. It's like, it's not my fault. You're an asshole. Like, I don't. Right. I never get those people. Like, why would you mess with somebody who handles your food?
I guess I've never seen Waiting.
Yes, they should see Waiting.
I love that movie.
Oh man, more than once I felt the urge. I had to fight the urge to spit on somebody's food. It's like, that was when I was working like fast food.
Oh yeah, fast food is the worst. Be nice to your fast food people. Sometimes you get a free drink.
Hell yeah, I've done that to nice customers.
Yeah. And then be extra nice to your friends that do work. Or, like, even if you're not friends, be nice to the people that serve you. Because when the bar is crowded and you just showed up and you say, hey, Cesar, how are you?
That's a big one.
They're going to be like, hey, what's up? Give you a hug. Be like, what do you want to drink? And your drink is done immediately. Oh, yeah. Everybody else has to wait. You need a table at a restaurant? I've gone plenty of times to Crave when a friend was working there. Place is packed, there's a huge line or whatever, and he's like, you guys want a table? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, cool.
We'll go on.
Next one that's open is yours. I was like, hell yes. Be nice and tip well.
Tip well.
Please. I've seen so many people tipped so poorly. Service industry, like restaurant, waiter, bar, bartender, cocktail waitress, any of that. Tip well. 20% is the minimum.
Tip well or don't go. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's really the two options.
Exactly.
Sometimes people, like, at the bar be getting, like, a $30 tab and leave, like, $2. I'm like, hey, come on, man.
Oh, man. I wish. I had a $150 tab once and the person tipped me $10. That was nothing. And it wouldn't be that bad, but they were If you're going to tip poorly, which you shouldn't, you should never tip poorly. But if you're going to, at least don't be that guy who's like, but can I get a water? And can you put like the thing of lime on the side?
Yeah.
No, I need 4 limes specifically sliced this way. And then can I get an extra cup with just ice for the drink? And like, no, if you're gonna, if you're a demanding asshole, because I've been a demanding asshole in a restaurant once in a while too. Like, that's when you tip extra well.
I don't know. And if you're there for
2 hours or longer, definitely tip really well.
I have a weird philosophy about going out, period. Because I guess it's kind of like a stoic way of looking at it. Like, before I go out anywhere, I think to myself, okay, 2 things. It's gonna be a good time, but it can also be a shitty one. Because not some people suck. Like Tom Segura says, like it's like sometimes service is gonna suck sometimes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And I have to make peace with that before I even leave the place. Because I don't feel like being an asshole to anyone. Like, I don't know what that server or that bartender has been through in the day. I don't know that. And I never go out there with the plan of being like a dick or anything. But, like, if I'm getting bad service, I don't really necessarily blame the waiter or the server or the bartender. I'm like, this is my fault for choosing to go out. Like, I make that choice of possibly having a bad time by going out, period. Like, it's the same, like, as in getting behind the wheel of a car. It's like you might hit someone else, or somebody else might hit you. Like, it's just a chance. It's just a chance. And that's why I try to keep that in mind anytime something goes wrong when I go out to eat. Like, I don't know, maybe they forgot my fries or some shit. I'm like, yeah, this is my fault. Like,
yeah, you're like, it's part of the risk.
It's part of the risk. Had I made my meal myself at home, everything would have been just the way I like it. But I chose not to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're entrusting somebody else to do it, which is cool, and definitely seek high quality places to get high quality service, because you do get what you pay for.
True.
But I think the other thing though is that people like they don't understand that there's like a huge process, especially like the nicer the restaurant, the more people involved in putting your food together.
Oh yes.
Not only in like clean dishes or like just plate that you're eating off of being super clean or whatever, but the people that plate it, the people at the front of the like window that bring it over to the waiters.
It's a process. Like
and then the waiters, some people like to fucking tip shit or tip nothing to the waiters when it's like, yo, like as somebody that has served and been like, like a waitress, cocktail and food, like sometimes you're just delivering it. You're making sure the order gets there correctly and that the food gets there correctly and the person is taken care of in the things that you can do, which, trust me, we do absolutely everything to make sure that you're happy, because it looks bad on us too. And a lot of the time we do want to make sure you have a nice time when you go out, because when we go out we like to have a nice time too. Yeah, so don't tip your waiter crappy if the food's taking forever, because I can't make it for you.
Exactly.
No
like,
waiters
I'm the server,
cooking
not the chef. Okay, we need to chill.
Yeah.
Like, make peace. Like, if you go somewhere and you see the place is packed, like, immediately think it's going to take a little longer.
Yeah, you just find another restaurant.
Yeah.
If you really, really care about speed, then you go to McDonald's.
Go fast food. Hell yeah.
Yeah. If you really want a nice meal that's nicer than that you can cook at home,
don't go to McDonald's.
Yeah, no. Definitely don't. But also, you're going to have to expect to wait. Because if it takes you 30 minutes to cook something, trust me, even with 5 chefs, it'll at least take 30 minutes to get like a full steak from fridge
to your table.
Yeah.
No, it's a kind of a weird relationship of, like, when I was a server for a good 7 months, I think, and I still remember like my expression or my emotion as soon as they told me what the minimum wage for servers is, like what, $2.30 or something like that.
Yeah, it's $2.30. So another thing, your server is not making bank. They're making $2.30 an hour plus tips. And just because of how federal taxes and stuff works, that $2.30 an hour, that gets taken. That's gone. That's all gone via taxes to pay for Medicare. So
they live off of tips pretty much.
We do live off of tips. Your tips buy my groceries, or whatever.
I think it's time to actually I don't think it's a bad idea, but to actually give servers pretty much like an actual wage, like a real wage, like a living wage.
Well, I mean, everybody needs a living wage. At this point, we would be, if wages kept up with inflation, we would be making, minimum wage would be $33 an hour.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I think that was like the figure that I had calculated last year. So
it's probably grown since then.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, because like when I've been to countries where tipping is not a thing, like I would ask them, I was like, well, I mean, since we don't tip here, like, do you guys make money? He's like, yeah, we get paid hourly, a salary, like what's supposed to, a livable wage. I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
And benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So important.
I'm just like, dude, like, why don't we do that everywhere with servers? Because, yeah, sometimes you're probably going to make more than minimum wage, but most of the time, you're definitely not banking. Like, I remember I would leave work with maybe like $60-$70. And sometimes, dude, there were days where I made like jack shit, like maybe $5.
Oh yeah.
Like those are the times I was thinking, is like, why don't we have a minimum fucking wage?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's ridiculous for me to think there's like, the government gets together, it's like, well, they make more than enough money in tips. I'm like, bitch, no, we don't. Like, one of those senators or whatever needs to, like, put on an apron and go, like, do it for a week. That's how much fucking money you make.
Oh, no, I feel like they should do it for, like, 6 months. They should definitely get I think it would be great. Because, you know what, some people are going to be like, oh, well, sometimes I make more than doctors do. And when I worked at the bar, like, there were some nights that I really made like $300 a night. Mm-hmm. Definitely not here.
No.
Like here, I think the most that I've made in a night was like $260. But I was running around the entire time, cleaning dishes like a mad woman, pouring beers, getting food.
It's fucking nuts.
Running around everywhere, trying to keep everything together, and then like. The entire shift was just like the most incredible cardio workout that I've ever gotten.
How about them feet afterwards? You get home, take off your shoes, like, oh shit, like.
Oh my god!
It's orgasmic taking off your shoes after a long shift as a server.
They're like on fire as you're running around. You're like, no, and then you still have to somehow look poised. And remember everybody's name.
Good evening, welcome. How can I get you that?
Right?
Oh man, no.
Be flirty and cordial and fun, and make sure everybody's having a good time. It's a lot of different jobs in one, which is cool, and they're necessary jobs because people like to go out to eat, which is fine. But those people should get paid well, and they should get treated well. But I think the thing is too that like. You might make a bunch of money like one weekend or one day you make, like
but it's not a sure thing.
$250. But no, like as soon as the fall semester starts or whatever, done. Making $60 and then like max like on a fucking day. And then in like January and stuff, around the holidays, dead. You're lucky to be making like $13. I made $13 one time.
Like, the thing is, I understand the fact that that leisure activities sometimes have seasons, right? And that includes going out to eat. Like, because the volume grows in the summer. That stuff is seasonal, but I don't think anybody's paycheck should be seasonal too. Like, why is it that anyone should make a lot less money over, like you say, the fall semester than they did during the summer? I mean, the expenses are still the same. Like, you still have to pay the same amount of rent, you still have to get the same amount of food. Gas, whatever, like, and I think it's fucked up. That's why, like,
and then some people will definitely chime in and be like, oh, well, that's why you should save and take care of your money at that point. Absolutely, you totally can, but there is not enough, like, there's just no way for you to know.
There's no security,
if you're going to, like, I had plenty of money saved, and then I reached the end of my savings, and I do really well to, like, not live beyond my means and save really well and all of that. But, like, there's just a point where, they were telling us, like, oh, well, it's gonna, it'll get better, like, in the next month. Or, like, just wait till March comes, and then, with all the sports things, and, like, all of that, and then the busy season will start again.
Well, they'll say that to my landlord, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I mean, the other thing, though, is, like, look what's happened now. Nobody could predict a pandemic, and yet... all of those people that were struggling with bills, even if they somehow made it to the busy season is now gone. There's no way that you're going to be able to make that money. Yeah.
Summer is dead right now.
Those people are going to be struggling for money, like a lot of people are, which is really messed up. We have the means and technology to take care of everybody, and I think that we should.
The real question is humanity psyche ready for that? Like we can hardly share the road sometimes. Like it's like Robert says, it's like, bitch, you're not ready for communism. It's like you can't even share the fucking road. You're talking about sharing your paycheck. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
that's really the question. It's like, are we ready to share everything with everyone?
it doesn't matter if we are ready to share. We literally have the technology. Grain rots on the ships of like just rice shipments or whatever. They will let that rice rot, a certain portion of it, so that they can then get the price that they want per pound or per ton or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, they're messing around with the market, right?
Well, yeah, because they're trying to get more money for less product, which totally works, except now you've just wasted like thousands of man hours in
food.
Yeah, and food. Food, resources, energy costs for transport. All of that, packaging, like, or, you know, like, there's going to be packaging that's unused, so those people are going to, like, you're affecting the entire supply chain, just for greed, which is wild.
Albeit for money.
Yeah, but not even talking about that, it's like, we literally have the resources to feed, educate, give everybody, like, basic
clothes
technology, and house people. There are more houses that are empty than there are homeless people. So we have the technology. Let's just do it. Nobody asked to be alive. Nobody on this planet was like, yes, pick me. I totally want to go join this crazy thing. You know, life is crazy. Life is good and bad at different times for everybody. And it's just really important to remember that. And I think by having everybody's basic needs together, it would, like, we have the technology to.
It'd be a better place.
Yeah. It would be a really cool place to be and live, and everybody could, you know, focus on what makes them happy or their life path to really bring, you know, like, joy and helpfulness to everybody that's alive. And even if your joy and happiness is to play video games all the time, I would much rather that a portion of my paycheck goes to making sure that you can play video games for the rest of your life, because if not,
then you just want to make everybody happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's not even that. People make themselves happy, and they should, you know? But there are some people that, like, they have no opportunity and no way to get this sort of, like, stability whatsoever from the get-go. People are born poor. Bad things happen. With any amount of, like, bad luck, you could be on the street begging for McDonald's.
That's true.
And it shouldn't be that way.
That could be me.
Yeah.
No, that's why I always keep it, like, whenever I have this conversation, like, the one thought that comes to me is, like, this is how I really can tell that mankind is really very unkind. Like, how very unkind we are as a whole. Because there's a lot of really good people out there. There's a lot of some bad people out there. But it really tells me how much of a fuck we don't give.
I mean, I don't think it's that people don't give a fuck. I think it's that society is currently organized in such a way that it's either difficult to help the people in, like, that need help, in a way that's, like, simple and efficient and efficacious.
Word of the day?
Yes!
Efficacious?
Word of the lifetime, dude. Efficacy over efficiency all the time. I mean, I guess not all the time, because that wouldn't be either of those things. But, you know, like, more often than not.
Yeah.
Definitely strategize and figure that one out.
It's a good dream to have, I think.
I mean, it's something to work for. And it's something that we can do really easily. But the first thing that needs to change is people's mindset. Because I think a lot of people reward and think that the behavior of, like, well, let me look out for me and my immediate tribe, which is cool, and that worked totally when, you know, like...
Tribes were small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
very little people.
Now we're a global tribe, which is really cool, you know? Like, you can play video games with somebody from Australia, and just shoot the shit and talk about COVID-19.
Shoot the shit. So, how's that COVID, mate? They're like, I'm doing the same shit you are, man. I can't go anywhere. People are going to become alcoholics or more so after this. I've noticed that, like, I thought I used to drink a lot before the quarantine, and now I'm definitely drinking way more.
Yeah?
Yeah, and, like, I know how to and everything, but, like, back in the day, I would just have, like, the 2 beers and then go home. Now I'm definitely, like, downing a 6-pack because I have nowhere else to go. Like, I definitely, like, I work out, I study, I read a little bit throughout the day, and then I reward myself with that beer. But I'm drinking a lot more. I gotta find a replacement because it's getting fucking wild. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one going through this shit. Like, I have friends who are going through the same shit. It's like, what do you do with your day? It's like, after I do whatever I have to do, I just drink. Like, holy shit. Like,
Oh, no.
You're right there with me, buddy.
Yeah, it's like some people are out there, or not out there, but in there,
yeah.
living their best lives, getting like, like really working on learning Japanese you're doing, reading and writing, working on music, practicing bass is what I'm doing.
Hell yeah.
But other people are just getting blitzed and crying, and that's cool too. You do both at the same time. I
think some people are just not ready to have that like introspective experience of being by yourself and like being with your own thoughts and like getting into your head, because I think it's healthy to do that. Like get in with those thoughts and wrestle with them, and so that way afterwards, you'll always come out the victor.
Yeah.
Like if you really do it the right way, if you actually, because we all have problems, and sometimes people don't think about them too much because of their daily lifestyle. They go to work and they have to go to school and then all this shit. So when they get home, they're too tired to think about it. Now that we have the time to think about it, I think a lot of people are like avoiding those problems by drinking.
Yeah.
Just stay home and get fucking blitzed.
Which is really cool, but you should definitely, my stepdad always says, everything in moderation, including moderation. So that you can totally get wild and have time. Like, dude, there's plenty of days where I'm like, I'm gonna like try to, where I will, get everything done on the list and cook 2 or sometimes even 3 healthy meals, very healthy meals, and like, get everything done. And then there are other days where you just want to like sit down and watch TV and drink a bottle of wine and order pizza, which is super cool.
Yeah. Once in a while, yeah. Once in a while, it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, you can do there's this wonderful, beautiful spectrum of human experience, and you should definitely enjoy all of it.
Yeah, because I don't think this shit is going to happen again in our lifetimes. Like, where they tell you have to stay home. Here's a check. Just stay home.
Those checks are not enough money for people to live. But, like, for sure, for a lot of people, it's definitely stay home. And that's not very, like, it's not fun. And it is really hard to do.
You have to get creative.
On, like, a mental level. Yeah.
You have to get creative. That's why, like, I re-picked up my Japanese. I started on French. Home workouts, all that shit. Reading and writing. And I'm kind of glad, it sounds kind of shitty, but I'm kind of glad this happened because it's giving me all the time that I never had prior to the pandemic. Like, I'm looking at it from a positive standpoint because I know a lot of people are probably going through suffering right now. Like, a lot of people, especially like when I hear about the numbers in New York and shit, like how, like once they get the disease, like your family members can't come see you on your last couple of breaths, like that's it. Like, you're not seeing them again if you happen to die from it.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people dying in their homes, and those aren't included in the death toll counts.
And just thinking about that, dude, there's just a lot of people going through some really serious shit right now.
Oh yeah, no, it was really heartbreaking when the statistics came out the second week of the quarantine.
It really fucking
because domestic abuse cases skyrocketed, and there are people that are unfortunately, and kids living in homes that aren't like financially stable or emotionally stable.
That's really fucking shitty. That's when you like, again, we come around to that conversation about relationships, because like, if that's happening in your house, you probably shouldn't be with that person. As either the aggressor or the victim. Like, you as the aggressor, I think, if you're gonna be that dude or that lady, you should like, again, stop and think by yourself. Get in those thoughts, like, this is not good.
Some of those people don't think. So
yeah,
that's the problem.
That's the problem.
And there's a lot of like people that have, just like, I don't know if anybody's watched like Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I've seen it, yeah.
You could, it's hilarious because it's like, oh man, yeah, I really relate to all the characters. Everybody's got daddy issues.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, everybody has some sort of problem, and your parents have probably fucked you up at some point in your life. But you are now an adult if you're probably hearing this.
Yeah. You get to choose not to be an asshole.
Yeah. And not only that, but you definitely have the strength and the freedom now because you have made it out of that really difficult, like, home life situation to fix those things for yourself. It's just really difficult because, I mean, for the people that suffer or are the victims of abuse, physical, usually only stems from emotional and mental abuse.
Yes.
Um,
You don't know how to cope with it.
Yeah, and a lot of the time those people are brainwashed. That's why Stockholm Syndrome is such a big thing. So it's really difficult.
No, and that's why, like, I understand there's certain psychological hurdles that need to be jumped before...
There's also financial hurdles to be jumped. A lot of those women are kept in... it's a lot of the time women. I understand that there are men that are in that same situation. Mm-hmm. But there's also a level of, like, financial control / abuse that's happening there, too.
Yep. No, I think they go kind of hand in hand. But, what was I going to say? Yeah, like, I understand there's, like, some hurdles to be jumped before, like, you know, actual stability, mental and financial arrive after those situations. But I've never understood those people who justify their shortcomings on those kind of experiences, you know? Like for example, I remember dating this one girl who admitted to have daddy issues. Like, she had, like, daddy issues. I'm like, well, you're not a girl anymore. Like, get over it. I'm sorry. Like, you don't have to act a certain way just because... And I'm thinking maybe she was just, like, raised to think, well, this is how a person with daddy issues acts, so that's how I'm gonna act. And in my mind, I'm like, no, you don't have to. Like,
I mean, I think it's a little bit more insidious at that point, because,
mm-hmm.
like, you develop your personality and behaviors in order to survive in the situation that you're in. And sometimes, you know, you have a great home and
mm-hmm.
and really wonderful parents. Like, your parents were definitely people that should have had kids and
mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Not everybody gets that, which means that you end up learning, like, toxic behaviors mm-hmm. that don't help you or serve you as you get older and stuff like that. And those are all really hard things to overwrite. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, that's firmware at that point, my dude. Like, that's not a software update. That's, like, a whole, like...
You would have to, like, overhaul the fucking...
Yeah, you have to basically reset your computer. Yeah. Like, if you want to think about it like that, which is really funny and really hard to do. Which is why it's important to have, like, empathy for those people and just all people in general.
All people, yeah.
Just because it's like, yeah, you see there's a problem, maybe they are shit. Maybe, like, mm-hmm. this girl, like, she's like, yeah, I have daddy issues. That's definitely, like, the first step is to be like, this is a problem. Yeah. Problem, really, like, that's the nice thing is that, like, finding out the problem mm-hmm. is easy. The hard thing is, you know, like, doing the software update. Yeah.
That's why I think it happens to all of us. Like, at some point, while I was in the Navy, I definitely had a problem with alcohol, and but, like, realizing it took me such a long time. Such a long time. I've been drinking like crazy for like a good year or some shit like that, and then, like, one day I wake up and, like, I'm in my dorm room, in my barracks room. Sorry, I open the fridge. It's like freaking 8 a.m, and I open the fridge and I take out the bottle of Jack, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, okay, yeah. This is a fucking problem. So, like, I look at the bottle and then I put it back in the fridge, in the freezer, and I close it. And, like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a walk. I need to think about this, because I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking, but, like you say, everything in moderation. You know, I was definitely drinking way too much at that time. Yeah. But yeah, like, it took me a while to replace that habit with other habits. Because that's really what it is. Like, most behaviors are just things we do often. They're called habits, and I don't think you can ever get rid of one. You can only replace them. Like, yeah. So, like, I replaced it with instead of, like, going out drinking, I'll go do some touristy stuff. I mean, for God's sake, I was in Japan. Like, I had that world open to me. I enjoyed it a little bit more. I started going to, like, different shrines and just getting lost in the train, just whatever. Because it was way better than drinking. I mean, I actually remember what the fuck I was doing. I was meeting people. You know, it was fun as fuck. But yeah, you're right. Like, it was hard. It was hard getting rid of that firmware, as you call it, and replacing it with something else. But what I'm saying is it's doable.
It is doable.
You don't need to justify how you act because of your habits.
No, it's true. And as long as, like, people are, I mean, like, assuming that you're, like, in a relationship, romantic, familial, friendship, whatever, working, mm-hmm. any sort of relationship, with somebody that's admitted to you that there's a problem, as long as they show you change behavior, because that's the best apology, is change behavior. Yeah. An apology without change behavior is not an apology whatsoever.
Not doing damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let anybody take the easy way out when it comes to the way that they treat you and stuff like that. Mm. But also, like, you can't expect somebody to change overnight.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so it's definitely like one of those weird like fine lines where it's like you gotta figure it out yourself, my dudes, on what it is that like is personally something that you can accept or not. But it's just so mind-blowingly difficult, especially because you think, oh well, I know that I have this problem now. I should be, it should be like this easy to finish.
It should be like flipping a fucking switch.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, and it's definitely not one of those like, oh, it takes 21 days to form a habit or break a habit or whatever. No, it takes 21 days to form a habit. Yeah, but to break a habit takes a fucking while.
It's a long fucking time.
Yeah, and it's definitely dependent on how long you've been like entrenched in this habit.
It also depends a lot on the people who you surround yourself with, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because back then, I was definitely hanging around with...
The drinkers.
Yeah, the drinkers. They were fun people, but I was definitely drinking probably more than they were.
Oh no!
But the thing is, it really helped telling them, like, when they were called, hey, we're going to go drink. I'd be like, nah, I got something else to do. I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Like, it wasn't a big deal. For me, it was the hardest thing in the world to actually say no to a drinking night back then. And now it's I don't put too much weight on it. Like, I don't care too much about it anymore. Like, right now, I would love to go out to a bar and have a couple drinks. But just because I haven't been able to go to a bar and have a couple drinks since this whole bullshit started. It's like I can just see how, like, unplanned pregnancies are going to just skyrocket when they let us all go out.
Oh no!
It's going to happen.
Hell no! Please use condoms. Birth control, whatever. Keep that shit on lock, please. Yeah. Especially here in Texas, because we don't have that many abortion clinics.
No. It's gonna happen. It's gonna. I don't want to be negative or anything, but I'm very realistic, and like seeing how things work out. Like, I know for a fact that after this pandemic's over and we're all given quote unquote permission to go out drinking, like, a lot of people are just gonna let their wild sides just fucking take over.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane.
It'll be wild. It's just really important that at that point people remember that history does have the possibility of repeating itself.
Yeah.
Be very careful when we are able to go out still. Exercise caution, because like the second wave of this is gonna kill more people than the first. Guaranteed. That's
the usual, yeah.
Yeah. So do go out, but limit how much you go out, and like definitely if you're sick, stay the fuck home. Yeah. Please. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to see no motherfuckers coughing at the bar.
Right?
It's like, I'll have a jack.
Yeah, if I don't see a cigarette in your mouth, then you better go the fuck home. There's no reason for you to cough.
It's gonna sound just like, I don't know if you've ever seen that episode of SpongeBob SquarePants where Patrick goes into Sandy's place, and he's like, oh, it couldn't possibly be that bad, and then he starts just like having a coughing fit. And here, let me put it on. Every single time I see that shit, I just fucking lose it. Let me see, I think it's this one.
Oh!
Where he goes in there and he just starts fucking coughing up a storm.
Don't worry, buddy. You're doing fine. I won't let you blow.
And then he starts having a fucking coughing fit. If I hear this shit at the bar, I'm gonna fucking flip. I'm just gonna be like, you need to get the fuck out of here.
Oh man, there was this great fucking, like, little short video clip of some guy who like spit on some oranges in a store.
Oh shit!
He got the shit slapped out of him.
Fuck yeah!
Some guy comes out of nowhere.
Boom!
Boom! The dude's on the floor. I was like, oh god, that was
like,
so satisfying.
Go hang yourself. Like, why are you doing this to everyone? Fucking piece of shit. So see what I'm telling you? Some people on Earth are pieces of shit. Like, some people really are.
But it's because they're still thinking in this really weird, like, it's just me and my tribe, and it's like, bro, it's a global community now, and you know what, like, our Earth can't fucking wait for us to, like, get our shit together. I'm pretty sure Pachamama's like, you guys could die now, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we could coexist with her as well, considering we live here, and, like, literally are dressed and clothed and fed and kept in this wonderful little flying rocket. It's the only one we've got. There's nowhere else.
It's like, it's as dumb as burning down your house.
Yeah.
It's just, and you really have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, we are burning down our house too. Like, we don't even have the technology to move to another planet,
No.
my dudes. Wait to
We
trash.
wouldn't even know where to go to begin with.
Oh yeah, no.
Like-
We wouldn't be able to. We couldn't even terraform Mars for
No.
shit.
No.
Like we would be fucked.
It'd be a one-way trip to death.
Which it
Prolonging
is
the
right
inevitable.
now.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I really think George Carlin was right when he says that if you're born on Earth as a human being, like, you've gotten a ticket to the show, like this big shit show that is humanity, you know. And if you're born in America, you get a front row seat. That's what he used to say all the time. And I think, like, the more I grow, the more I relate to it. It's like, you know, he's absolutely right. Like, I'm becoming an spectator. Like, I don't think I'm doing enough of my part to, like, better planet Earth, but I'm also not really trying to fuck her up either. Like, I try to live within my means and not consume more than I should, all that shit. I like being minimalistic in my approach. Like, I honestly, like I was telling you earlier, like, I really don't like driving. Like,
Yeah.
if we had a train system here, I would use that shit all the fucking time. All the fucking time. But, that's just not the case here in America. Like, in cities like El Paso, you have to drive.
Oh yeah.
You have to drive. Like, you can take the bus if you want, but you're gonna waste a lot of time waiting. Like, our transit system is shit here.
Oh yeah. Trust me, as somebody without a car,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty fucking awful.
There's a lot of waiting. A lot of waiting.
Oh man, I've lost jobs because like I will be there 15 minutes before the bus is supposed to come.
And it shows up like half an hour later.
Half a fucking hour
Yeah.
later, dude. Half an hour.
It's the
Or
worst
the
experience.
fucking you make it and the first bus comes and then the bus that's supposed to like take you like you have to take like 2
Mhm.
or 3 buses sometimes just to get somewhere.
Transfers.
Yeah, and then the transfer bus doesn't come in time, and then you
Uh-huh.
miss the other bus that you were supposed to get on there, and it's just
It's
not
a
a
shit
good
show.
time. It's awful. I mean, people can do better by, you know, reduce. First, there's a reason there's an order, right? Reduce the amount of stuff that you're using up, especially plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Reuse.
Mm-hmm.
Always reuse.
Reuse and recycle.
And then recycle.
Yep.
And then after that, like, also, because a lot of people are talking about, like, yeah, also purchasing power. Use your purchasing power correctly. Make sure that you are funding companies that, you know, like, don't use plastic for their packaging. Or maybe it's plastic, but it's actually made out of algae.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of really cool stuff like that. Algae water bottles and to-go utensils made from
We can do
avocado
it.
pits. Like, we really
can do
can.
it. We just don't. I think we haven't gotten all in the same mindset. Because generally, if you ask any person, like, if you were to ask him, is it would you want the Earth to be a good place to live in? Most of them are gonna say yes. Now, whether or not they're gonna take the steps for that to happen, that's a real question.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
mean,
real question.
right now, for sure, it's easier to be bad and choose choose McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't be that way. And the first thing is that we need to start, like, lifting up and championing smaller companies that are trying to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, make sure that you're choosing the right
The right
people in
people.
power, because we do not have the right people in power right now. Like, we need people that are trying to take care of everybody all at once.
Uh-huh.
Basic needs. If people really have an issue with, because they're like, oh yeah, like, I don't want to, like, have this system of quote-unquote communism or socialism or
Mhm.
whatever, like, sharing
So scared of it.
without that incentive to do more, live a
Uh-huh.
life of luxury or whatever. We can totally do that. We totally can.
So what I always say is, like, God forbid everybody's educated, clothed, and healthy, right? Like, God forbid that were to happen.
Right,
You can't have that shit.
That'd be the worst thing in the world. Like, for nobody to suffer, like, and it's not like nobody's gonna suffer, because
Not
even
true,
if you
yeah.
have,
You can have it all and still suffer somehow.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
yeah, like,
definitely.
life is gonna be like show you this wonderful, like, Ferris wheel of options, and it's like, how would you like to suffer?
Yeah.
There are so many ways. Let me just show you.
So you want some alcoholism? That's pretty rampant right now. Everything's pretty cheek. Want to try it out? We've reached an hour, which I'm glad.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna try and make a tradition of this. I'm gonna ask you one question. So if you were, it's kind of like, you ever heard of Lonely Island Records? I think it was a radio show.
Okay.
Basically, the host would always ask the guest at the end which 3 records they would take with them to an island. Now, what I want to do is not records, but books. What 3 books would you take with you on a deserted island for the rest of your life?
For the rest of my life, there's nobody there.
It's just you.
It's just me.
Just you. You'll survive in everything. You'll have the means to survive. But
Okay,
the only
do
thing...
I have music though? Because that's way more important.
I don't know. No. These are 3 books. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's just the 3 books?
3 books. You can make a guitar out of coconuts for all I care. I don't know. But like... 3 books. Which ones would you take?
Oh, shit. Okay. 3 books. That's really hard.
That's a terribly hard question.
And I love to read. You know that too.
I know
That's
that.
horrible.
Yeah.
You're so bad.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah. It's like you can take no books. Like if I told you take your guitar but no books, I think I would pick it. I would rather have the books than the guitar.
Oh, I'd much rather have the instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down. But
Okay.
books. Crap. Alright. So
As she looks around her books.
I have a lot of books. I'm just trying to see if something could jog my memory towards something that I absolutely love. I guess the first one is just super personal. The first book I ever stole on accident. I was moving.
Okay.
But I'd accidentally taken Contact by Carl Sagan.
Oh yeah, you told me about this. Contact.
Yeah. I would take that one. It's really cool. I had a teacher in 6th grade named Mr. Tyler who he suggested to like have a book that you read once every couple of years in your life that you can kind of gain something from. And just kind of use that as like a metric, you know, like no man passes the same river twice.
Exactly.
Or crosses, whatever. So that one is really cool.
So it'd be Contact. One of the ones I would take is also by Carl Sagan, but it's Cosmos, not Contact.
Ooh.
I would take Cosmos with me.
That one I haven't read.
Ooh, I have a copy.
We should switch copies.
We should switch copies. That way I can read Contact, you can read Cosmos.
I'm down.
Yeah. We'll do it after. So you would take Contact. What else? What other 2 would you take?
Let's see. I think I would probably take... Oh, man. It'd have to be some sort of poetry book.
A poetry book?
Yeah. I really like Le Fleur du Mal by Charles Baudelaire.
Mm-hmm.
Just really fucking beautiful verse. Obviously, like, in the original French, just because there's no way that you can get past, like... The translations just don't do it justice. The natural flow of the language and the way that it was written is so important. It
changes. Yeah, like I've read Shakespeare in Spanish, completely different. Like it's like no, like I have to read this shit in English. So it'd be that one, Contact, and the third one. The
third one, I guess, I would choose. Oh man, I really have no idea. Crap. I would choose the Tao. The Tao Te Ching.
That's actually one of mine too. So I would definitely take Cosmos, the Tao Te Ching, and I always have trouble with the third one because I always want to make it like something fictional, not something necessarily historic. But I always thought about taking something, I don't know, like the collected works of Shakespeare or some shit like that. That's kind of cheating. That's more than one book. So like that, I thought to myself, well, I have to pick my favorite one. Yeah. And I would definitely take. How was it? Henry V. His historicals. I love his history plays. I think they're really good, and like the way he wrote Falstaff and Prince, like how they work together. I thought it was really cool, and it's an enjoyable read. So I figure if I'm gonna have like 2 serious texts, I'm gonna have that one to like entertain myself with. If I'm in a lonely island, I'm probably gonna play it out to myself too, just like memorize it. Like say the lines in the middle of the beach or some shit.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah. I'll take something like that.
That is so cool.
No, but great time. Holy shit. It's already been over an hour.
I know. We'll have to do this again and choose different topics. This was fun.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, next time we're probably going to try and bring Robert or something. He's usually pretty good to talk to, too.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, next time we do it with Robert, we could have, like, an entire, like, we can get him monologuing. Like, I know exactly what music to play to get him to just start monologuing in like, one of his characters.
I can see it. Well, y'all have a good one. I'll try and upload these to YouTube as soon as possible. My guest today was Andrea.
Andy.rfm. You can find me on Instagram.
Hell yeah. And this is, as always, Carlos signing out. Y'all have a good one.